So I had fully expected to watch WrestleMania Night 2. And I turned it on and saw The Fiend walk through the entranceway and transform back into the way he was before he was burned. And then he popped out of a box to start the match. Click. Turned it off. Not watching that bullshit. I watched the Broken Skull sessions because they stupidly must have saw my comment when I said, in my opinion, or as far as I'm concerned, the main event is a guy who doesn't even work for the company. So they released it early. And I watched that for 2 hours instead. And then as I ended it, I just so happened to perfectly catch the beginning of the Big E match with Apollo Crews. I saw Big E's new entrance. Dope. It's dope. I'm so glad he got his own WrestleMania moment with his entrance. But you could kind of tell when he came out that he was losing. And now it brings me to the end of the match. Because those dudes, they brought it to each other. Straight up, quick, aggressive, power moves. Just beast of a match. And then Great Khali 2.0 came in. Helped out Apollo Crews, and now he's the new Intercontinental Champion. Click. I'm done. I'm not even going to watch the main event. I don't care. I'd rather come and talk to you guys about how much WrestleMania sucks. I literally had no idea who's on the card. I didn't know. I'm just glad I got to see the one match that I did watch. I enjoyed the 5 minutes that it was. But now I don't care. It's all crap. And I'm over it. I thought the interview with Austin and Jericho was much more entertaining. They covered a lot in 2 hours. It's like one of my episodes. They just threw in a bunch of shit, but they have two guys bouncing stuff off each other, so it's a lot easier for them. But, you know, my wife and I actually did review the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt match, but I don't think I'm going to be releasing it because we were not polite. So I don't know if I'm going to be releasing that one. But I'll tell you what, the Austin Jericho interview was great. I thought they were going to throw softball questions and answers, but they did not. They actually delivered with a pretty interesting. I mean, I've heard all those questions and answers from him before, but it was pretty good. I can't deny that. Name dropped a bunch of AEW guys. Forbidden Door really might be opening. I've been criticizing AEW a lot lately, but I'm still always been a fan of Chris Jericho. I've gotten into that in previous episodes, but this right here shows again why he's the GOAT. Once again, this is going to be the most talked about thing over WrestleMania. I'm almost sure this is going to be trending more. Go back and look if you don't believe me. I did not like it. And I'm not going to watch the rest of it at all. I'm not even going to talk about night one because it was so atrocious. It was terrible. I saw all the comments. I saw all the Twitter comments too. It was terrible. And I'm glad I didn't waste my time watching it. I'm glad I watched the Broken Skull session for 2 hours. And I'll tell you what, I'm just thinking about it now. I think that they might have released it not because of my my tweets and my tags and stuff. I'm not that arrogant, or egotistical. But I do think they might have released it early because they knew it was going to be the most talked about thing of the evening, and they would jump ahead of it. And plus, they probably knew everybody was going to fucking rage quit. Everyone in the arena can't because they're already there and they paid their money. But people like me who are only paying my $9.99 or $5, whatever, for Peacock, I can just change the channel, which is what I did. And I'm not going to be surprised if it comes out that that's what a lot of people did. You want to know why I think that? You want to know why? Because I tweeted with, I don't know, about 2 hours ago. As far as I'm concerned, a man who doesn't even work for WWE, for at WWE, is main eventing WrestleMania Night 2, and that man is Le Champion. Guess who liked that? About 300 people and Chris Jericho. In only a couple hours. So I can't be the only one who's thinking that that's the main event. That it's going to overshadow everything on the card. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. And the way they're hinting at stuff, not so much hinting, but the way that their demeanor was with each other, you could see like their little inside smirking to each other. So I think something big might be coming. And I will give credit to this also, why Chris Jericho and Steve Austin are the GOATs. I'm kind of interested again. Not interested enough to watch WrestleMania, but I'm interested about what's coming down the road from both companies. You never know who could show up on what show. That's exciting. And that's all I meant by that tweet. You can't exactly get all of that into 140 characters. But then some Mega Meltzer Mark starts commenting, you're wrong, and you spelled champion wrong, because I spelled it with an S, but then I said with an at. Well then, at Chris Jericho is saying it wrong, because I'm spelling it like I hear it. La Champion. And he started hating, calling me an AEW mark and all that. And then I said, how about you go listen to the start of my podcast? In my first episode, I come out the gate with AEW's the honeymoon stage with AEW's over. Yeah, I'm a fan of them. I like them better than WWE. But I'm still going to call them out when they're doing fucking stupid shit. So, for that Mega Meltzer Mark, just so you know, there's documented proof that I am not just a sheep Mega fan. I'm unbiased. I calls it like I sees it. And the way I see it is WWE is trash, because not for nothing, I stopped watching the first match, and then the match I saw after watching the Broken Skull match, I watched the entire match. It was a great match. But who in their right mind put Apollo Crews in like a Nigerian whatever gimmick, give him like a staff, and then book him and Big E in a Nigerian drum match? Who the fuck okayed that? That's bad. That's bad. And then you go and tell me you'd rather go with Apollo Crews over Big E? Yeah, Apollo Crews is athletic as hell, and he can work, and he's got the look, but he's just very stiff, and he's not believable in his character. Big E has been over like Rover for years. He's charismatic, he can work, he's got the look, got a dope entrance now, has a cool stable with New Day. I don't know. You're gonna go backwards? Because someone who's not charismatic, yeah, okay, he can work, but it's also the character that pulls you in. Big E's just a complete package, I think. I think he more so than Apollo Crews. And that big giant Great Khali 2.0 fella looks very awkward. Like the way he moves and stands, he looks very, very awkward. So not off to a good start with that. And whatever happens next, I don't know because I'm not watching. I'm sitting here recording, talking to you, my friends. I'd rather do that than to watch this bullshit. It's garbage. It's no good now. I don't enjoy it. Makes me angry. But because of the Broken Skull session today with Jericho and Austin, I'm very excited. Because I think something might be coming. And that'll be awesome. Because night 1 of WrestleMania was terrible. I didn't even watch it at all. Not one thing, not one bit of it. Night 2, I saw the opening match. I'm assuming this is the middle match that I watched. And now I don't know what else is going to be. I saw 2 things from it, and I'm angry. And I don't want to watch it, so I'm not going to watch the rest of it. I'll probably have this review out, or this episode out, before WrestleMania is over. And I still won't even talk about it because I don't care. They better pull out all the stops and have some sick highlights to pull me back, because I don't care about WrestleMania this year. I didn't care about WrestleMania last year. I don't even know if the main event is still Roman, Edge, and Bryan. I don't know. Don't care. Next. How's that about though? My theory about the mole in AEW could be Jericho. I bet you he ain't letting Big Show come back and do a podcast. I bet you he ain't letting Rusev come back and do a podcast. I bet you he ain't letting Cody come back and do a podcast. He'll let Jericho though. I'm telling you, everybody, I'm unbiased. I'm the hater commentator. I hate everybody equally. I'll call everyone out on their bullshit. It does not matter to me. I can be a lifelong fan of Chris Jericho and still unbiasedly call him out on some bullshit saying I think he might be a mole in AEW for WWE. Because I might be crazy, but I definitely saw a few nods and winks to the camera. So that means that they're doing it to someone off camera, which I'll guarantee you Vince is in the room. I'd like to know what the vibe was after and before those cameras started rolling, especially if Vince was in the room. You think they're not talking? I don't know, people. My money is that they are. And like I said, I can unbiasedly say that maybe Chris Jericho is corporately sabotaging AEW, but he's still over there getting his money and still being creative and having fun in the process. Yeah, he might be trying to help them, but he might not be really trying to help them, or else would he really be doing all the hokey bullshit that he's doing? I don't know. Or is he just adapting to their style and then sending them over the edge with it? I think that might be closer to the truth than some might think. But I don't know, you didn't hear it from me. Like I said, I'm a super big fan of Chris Jericho. I've been a fan of his for pretty much half my life. But I can still give him a honest critiquing or an assessment. And that's what I think's going down. I can give him a fair humbling. And, speaking of humbling, how far down has Hulk Hogan fallen? Honestly, how much are they trying to humble him? How much is he that desperate to be accepted again to where He's in a pirate outfit, looking like Jack Sparrow. Think about that. When in history would you ever see Hulk Hogan in a fucking pirate outfit? They gotta be humbling him. That was so pitiful and disheartening that I forgot already and pushed it to the back of my mind after I saw it. Because I did. I watched the opening of Wrestlemania. I saw Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil come out in their pirate outfits. I was like, oh, I switched it for a minute. Came back, saw Randy Orton and The Fiend. I saw The Fiend's entrance. Saw him come out of the box. Switched it. I'm like, I'm done. Watched the Broken Skull sessions. After the Broken Skull sessions, I actually just happened to catch the beginning of Big E's new entrance. So I watched that whole match. Thought it was racist as fuck. But I was happy that Big E got a WrestleMania moment with his entrance. And then I turned it off. Because I didn't care. I didn't care. I don't care. I didn't care, and I still don't care about any of the matches on the card, any of the wrestlers on the card. None of the build-up to any of the matches pulled me in. I didn't care. I don't care. It's a lackluster run. I think we're going into another 10-year dip. It had its resurgence for 5 to 7 years, and now it's going into its 10-year dip. We're going to just start getting a ton of new people that aren't necessarily ready for the big time, i.e. the Lance Cade era, where I didn't know anybody about that shit. I didn't know anyone in that era of wrestling. Whenever JBL was the champ, I couldn't tell you one wrestler that was on the roster besides him, obviously. And I can tell you why that was, because they were obviously pulling guys up from the developmental that were not ready for prime time yet, just to inject some new blood onto the roster because they were trying to phase out their older talent. That's exactly what it looks like happening now. That's why Bianca Belair might have won the title. Maybe they're trying to get Sasha out of there. You got Damian Priest. You got I don't know. But I've seen clips of those guys, so they're trying to push them. So those are new people that they're injecting. Whose spots are they taking? Or trying to take? Because a lot of top guys are going, and I'm not knowing a lot of people on the roster. And it's not getting interesting anymore. I think we're going for a 10-year dip. If not towards the end anyway, because they already sold it off to Peacock. They're selling stock. And you can call me crazy, you can call me whatever you like, but if you go back and look at the timestamps, what I say usually picks up steam on somebody's radar, and it's brought up within the wrestling community within the next few days to a week after. There's already a chubby bunny little mid-carder who's trying to rip off the idea of this show. Don't believe me? Go back and look. I won't say their name, but I mentioned them about a week ago in a few episodes. And then go back and look at the older episodes and you'll see what I'm trying to do. You'll see. Go ahead. I'm not a fibber. I don't have any format, any person to bounce ideas or topics off of. I don't have a soundboard. I don't even have a producer or any fancy thumbnails. It's just me. How I feel in the moment when I hit record. Good, bad, indifferent, wrestling related, wrestling positive, wrestling negative. That's it. I just talk. You just listen. I'm hitchhiking that journeyman's highway into your eardrums. Thank you for picking up this audio transmission. So if you could, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be aware of every time I drop a new episode. They happen quite frequently. They're usually pretty good. Well, I mean, that's subjective, but I'll say they're pretty good. I know you're listening. I'm getting the views. You've already watched the video. Just click like. Just comment. Just subscribe. Just hit that notification.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, before you, we have the greatest
show
of all time. We have a man that in his own modest way can tell you.
I don't like it. I'm just telling you the truth.
You like it?
No! Listen to my fucking ranting. Listen to what you do to me. I don't believe you anymore.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in.
hosted by
This guy that ran with every woman that would have him from the time he was 15. You like it? You want one?
90,000 people watching. In my moment of glory. Yeah, no, I'm living a nightmare.
I don't trust you. The fuck up! You make me wanna smoke. You fucked my damn...
Justin Draven.
Wow, Mr.